what you gonna do? You're gonna fight. You gotta fight to the end. So, let's get back to the crib, protect the crib, and take it one game at a time. The series not over. We're gonna keep fighting.
You can kind of defend them in the half court when they're not able to get out in transition that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think, for the most part, that's been one of our strengths, is in the half court. And obviously we need to limit them from going to the free throw line as well. They've been able to get us in closeout situations and break us down, get into the lane. Some of that, a lot of that has come from our fault of some of our coverages and whatnot, but those are just things we got to be better at. But we got to take care of the basketball. We got to win the rebounding battle, and we just got to be in the moment of what this is. And this is playoff basketball. We got to be more ready to just go out there and scrap. Like, we need it. I mean, we just, we're a little too casual. And we have to be, everybody knows that. In our locker room, we have to be better. Every single guy, all of us, has to be better. Have to look ourselves in the mirror and be better.
Cade wasn't good enough. He had more turnovers than made shots, and I don't want to make excuses for him. He needs to play better than that. At the same time, there's a ready-made built-in excuse for him. They can't hit a single shot outside of the paint, so it's him trying to unclog a toilet every possession. The lane's all congested, and he's got the plunger. Yeah, it's going to be a messy job. There's going to be some mess. There's going to be some turnovers.
We talked about game one. That's the worst they had played. And we thought, okay, it's a one-off. It can't possibly continue. They followed up with a really good defensive performance. And we thought, okay, hey, they got, whether it was rust, whatever caused them to have that issue in game one. And now twice in Orlando, it has been the same thing over and over and over.
Rubbing our nose in it. This team's just not built for the postseason.
Nope.
Text says Duran's personal life has affected his professional life. Lost love and lost confidence. It pains me to see this tragedy. Can we all agree Duran is the softest athlete in Detroit sports, signed to Dylan in Royal Oak? It seems to me that Jalen Duran has been bought off by someone to take a dive. There's no reason for him to be playing this terrible, shaking my damn head. Enough is enough. Start Paul Reed on Wednesday. I'm starting to see why JB was fired in Cleveland. Everything starts with coaching. Cade better have a long look in the mirror because he's absolutely not absolved of criticism himself. Mark at home.
Supposed to be the next great big man, American big man, right? You are putting on the show not just for Detroit, not just for the fans, but for Team USA. You putting players that you're going up against, people who's actually watching this performance. You have an opportunity to stamp that. So why not go out there and do it? You're the number one team in the East. You home tonight, go out there and get that win.
They're not at home.
They're in Orlando.
I'm home.
Yeah,
well, I'm home.
That's right.
I'm home.
But
Yeah, I mean, they're sending a lot of bodies to him, and we got to help him by giving him more space so that he has room to operate. Set screens for him, be a little more physical, get the guys off of him. But, again, we got to do a better job of taking care of it.
Alrighty then, let's talk. So, the world is reacting to the Pistons, going down 1-3 to, sorry, trying to get this off my hand. Going down 1-3 to the Orlando Magic. You had Carmelo, you had, Stu saying we still gonna fight until the end. You had Cade chiming in about it, JB. Just a lot of people, man. And Carmelo was very interesting in what Carmelo said, because he said that for Jalen Duran, it's not just about the money. It's about, you auditioning for Team USA and just your overall brand. And for you to put that tape out here, you're fumbling opportunities. You're fumbling opportunities, and everybody's turned sour. They said y'all was frauds. You said y'all didn't belong. They said the regular season don't matter. When the playoffs come, they will crumble, and y'all to get exposed, and y'all getting exposed. So just, it may seem like to some people that Terajan Langdon need to blow it up. Regardless, these were bad apples. The core of the team is bad. It may say that, but ultimately, I mean, the deficiencies of the team was always there. they played the long game, which I'm not mad at it. Instead of coming in and destroying it, they played the long game. You hope that Asar Thompson can develop an offensive game. You hope that Ron can develop an offensive game. It didn't work, and you see how quickly they extracted Jaden Ivey from the team, and that was the thing the whole time. That's the guy they wanted to get rid of the whole time. But out of all the pieces before he got injured, all the pieces that they kept, that was the most promising one as far as what they needed, because he was shooting the ball at a 40% clip. He was shooting a three at 40% clip, and they just wanted to get rid of him. They got rid of him. And now, really, if we really talking about it at this point, the core is Cade. That's the core. Anything around that don't matter. Anything else can be gone. I hate to say it, but that's the core. The core is Cade. And then if you go second tier, you're probably talking about Thompson. But other than that, the core is Cade Cunningham. So really, it's what you're going to put around Cade now. More than likely, they want to go with a stretch five. You're probably going to see that happen. And, other than that, they're probably going to keep Thompson as a defensive hound. But then you got to need a two guard that can really score it and get his own bucket. Then you got to get a four that's going to stretch it and shoot it. And then do you take some of the other collective and build a bench with them? Whether it's, more than likely, if they're going to go big for a Devin Booker, you're going to get rid of Asar Thompson. That's just the way it's going to have to be. If you go get a Kyrie, it's more about you absorbing that money. You get a Zach LaVine, you don't have to give up that much capital. You kind of see what I'm saying? When you go out there and get a Booker, you got to give up a lot. So, but then, who do you identify as your five? Do you say, okay, we got Stu on the bench. We going to keep Jenkins. All right. And then past that, you probably push Duncan to the bench. Stu, Jenkins, Duncan on the bench. In reality, you're going to make a move. Ryan probably going to be gone. Karis LeVert probably going to be a signing trader in the expansion draft. Wu will probably still be somewhere on the bench. B-Ball Paul probably go somewhere else and get paid and get a bigger role. Do you sit there, you look at a guy like Mitchell Robinson, but him and Stu, both part-time players, so I don't think that really works. So, long story short, it's over with. I said that the other day. You see it in game one. It's over with. They got a lot of valuable pieces. They got a lot of money to play with. And the Pistons are frauds. Most fraudulent number one seed. And it is what it is. It is what it is. They said the Lions hold my beer. We're going to let them down even harder, man. And it's sad. It's sad. It is sad. But, Durant is going to be the scapegoat for this. I hate to say it. People say, well, they need it. No, had he played up to par, had he did what he did in the regular season, they win this series. Regardless of shooting or lack of shooting or another score, he did what he did. I said it before the series. Durant needed to do, if he just did what he supposed to do, they win the series. But Durant, Jenkins, if they're going to make a championship run, Durant had to do what he's supposed to do in the regular season, what he did in the post. Jenkins would have to do what he did the second half of the season. And they need a LeVert or Herter to do what they're supposed to do. But everybody talking about Malik Beasley and them. Beasley ain't do shit last playoffs. No disrespect to him. So people forget that. Beasley didn't do shit last playoffs. But hopefully they bring him back next year. You put him in the starting lineup, push Duncan to the bench, especially if you get rid of Asar Thompson. Not too much of a defensive drop-off. You get you a Booker or a Kyrie next to Cade. At the 4, you just find somebody that can defend, rebound, and shoot the 3. At the 5, you find somebody. They're probably going to get Miles Turner. That's who they really like. So, we'll see, man. But, hey, hit the link in the description. Join the Patreon. Find me on X, Facebook, Instagram. Wherever I'm producing content, it's in the link in the description. Peace.
Okay, you guys came out a little flat. I think it was 7 turnovers in the first 4 minutes and then a a 35-3 run after. Just kind of what went into the slow start and just the inability to maintain that momentum tonight.
Man, it came out on fire. We wanted to start fast. They just threw a better punch start. And eventually we caught our footing in the first quarter, but that's been the name of the game for us. We got to start better.
I'm shocked you guys are in this position now, facing elimination.
I mean, going into it, shocked. But with the way that we've been playing, you know, that stuff's not good enough to win games in this league. This league's too good. They're a good team, so you know, they're out rebounding us, turning me over. You know, we haven't hit enough shots. Our defense hasn't caught its footing, so you know, it's not shocking that we're losing the game. It's been like that.